If your toilet appears to be running a little bit, check inside. Take the lid off, look at the valve, look at the water level. If the water level is right up to the top of that area that you're looking at right now, the valve either needs to be cleaned or it needs to be replaced. In my case, I took the valve apart, this part right here. I took it apart, took the little rubber gasket out, cleaned that, put it all back together. It still fills up to the top of that center column. If it does, you can adjust the height of the water with this little adjustment here, which I did. The water stops about a ½ inch below the top of this right here. In my case, after a little while, it fills up to the top, and then the overflow causes a little bit of water to flow inside your tank. So, we're going to replace this valve right here. It's very simple to do. Alright, in order to replace that toilet fill valve, you're going to need to buy one at Lowe's or Home Depot or your local hardware store. You need a pail, a rag to soak up some water, and a couple of tools. A cup to scoop out some water, and basically your toolkit or a pair of channel lock pliers. So the first step is to turn off the water supply. Then flush the toilet and hold the handle down till as much water comes out as possible. You'll hear it stop. Then let that off. Then we're going to take the lid off and finish getting all the water out. So in our case, the little cup doesn't work too well. So just take your rag, get it to soak up as much water as possible. Then just bring it up, get it into your pail, and just repeat this process. Don't worry, the water doesn't have any crap in it. It's clean water. So there's how much water I got in the pail, and it's pretty much dry down there. You're going to put the pail underneath here at the bottom to catch any water that might come out of the valve when you unscrew that. So the next step is to unscrew this valve and disconnect this from the center of this tube, and then get the new valve out. Alright, so when you open the box and take everything out, you'll have an install guide, a new nut for the bottom, a new little bracket to hold the little flexible hose here, and your new valve. Alright, so basically I use the channel lock to loosen this. Then we're just unscrewing it from the base, and you're going to get some water that drips out of there. No big deal. So then you're going to have to undo this nut. Pretty straightforward. Just throw your parts into the pail. Now the valve should come right out. Look at that. Came right out. Stick that in the pail. Take a look down there. Let's get our rag down here. And you want to get that nice and cleaned out. See? Great. Let's install a new valve. Okay, in our case, we're not going to need this bracket because there's a little nipple for the rubber hose to hook onto. So we're just going to leave that alone. You basically just take your valve, your new valve, and stick it down in the hole. Adjust it to where it's about like this, and then all you're going to do is take the nut and screw the nut up there and just tighten it finger tight. Don't use the pliers to really tighten it, or you could break the porcelain tank. Okay, so I got the nut tightened on the bottom, which is right in that area, finger tight. Next thing we do is just connect the water supply valve. They're pretty much universal. They are universal, so it should just screw on there like that. And again, we're going to tighten that finger tight. That's pretty good there. Okay, we have this inside. This feels tight. The rubber hose is hooked to the inlet right here. And we're going to turn on the water and see what happens. Oh no, there's water coming in. Let's take a quick look, see if we can see any leaks. Don't see any, and the last thing you have to do after you check for leaks is to check the level of the water. And in this case, we're way down. See how the level is way down? So you have to adjust this. Okay, the one thing that I forgot was to put this old valve beside the new valve, because the bottom of it unscrews. See the little threads there? So it actually unscrews to increase the level in the tank. So we're going to take it out and just do that real quick. Alright, see the difference in height? So I removed the valve. Now I have to adjust the height of the new valve to the height of the old valve. Alright, so now you can see they're the same height. All I did was unscrew the base down there. It's very easy to do. So now I'll reinstall it, and then we will adjust the water level. One more thing we're going to do is just cut a little bit of this hose off. You see how it's sticking up above the top of the tank? So we'll cut off a little bit so it's below the top of the tank. Should be filling up. And I'm going to move this and adjust this valve to about mid-level and see where it stops. So meanwhile, you can see there's the bottom of the tank. We're getting a little bit of spray out of here, which is normal. A lot of pressure coming up. All right, so let's see where that sits. All right, so I want it to go right about there. So see where the level is. It's maybe ½ an inch below the top of the tank. So that's basically it. Let's check for leaks again. Okay. And we will check that a couple of more times just to make sure that it's okay. You will save yourself $150 to have a plumber come out and do the work. If it's so simple, you can do it yourself. If you like my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and if you haven't already done so, click on the bell and hit all videos. Click on all videos so you'll be notified when I release new videos. Thanks for watching, and thanks to all you subscribers.